Today, you instantly know if your Amazon package has been delivered, or if your tire has low air pressure, or if a burglar trips your motion detector. But do you know if a hazard material cloud is drifting towards your neighborhood? Do you know if there's a broken pipe flooding skyline, or a mountain lion walking down your street? Well, you should know, and can know all of this if you sign up for SMC Alert. What's that, you say? It's an extensive electronic outreach system managed by the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office of Emergency Services. And SMC Alert is just one of those tools San Mateo County uses to keep residents informed. Our guest today is Lieutenant Craig Denton, Director of the Office of Emergency Services, and he's going to talk about SMC Alert and wireless emergency alerts and tsunamis, and maybe even what went wrong in Hawaii. Welcome, Craig. It's great to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Well, I'm going to start off by asking you, what is SMC Alert?
So SMC Alert is our local notification system that we use, and it has several platforms within it. Obviously, we have what we call for large-scale events that would affect the entire county, we have what's called a WIA, which is a wireless emergency alert system. And that system would go to all cell phones and would alert everyone in the county through all avenues, such as, it's the same system that the state uses for Amber Alerts. We then have the SMC Alert, which is an opt-in system, which we try to build our membership. We try to get, not membership, but our grouping as much as possible within our counties so that everyone can be informed for things that we had talked about before, such as mountain lions, something as simple as that, to a traffic accident, to some large-scale event that just affects one part of our county, such as a hazardous materials event or a police event. Anything like that is used for SMC Alert. In addition to that, we have our 10 system, which is a telephone emergency notification system, which used to be called Reverse 911. So that would be another platform in which that gets back to folks. In addition to that, obviously, in a major disaster or major emergency, we would use door-to-door notifications with law enforcement, fire, CERT teams, things like that, and social media.
And could you just remind to our viewers what CERT is?
CERT is a group of volunteers that many cities have within our county, and they are trained in evacuation, they're trained in basic first aid, they're trained in many different aspects of emergency management and emergency services.
So you had mentioned the SMC alerts, you need to opt in. WIA, the wireless system, you don't need to. How can we convince our viewers to sign up for SMC Alert when they may think that, well, if it's a big enough issue, I don't have to worry about signing up, I'll just wait for a WIA?
Well, the WIA events really are kind of like the very large-scale events is when we would use that, such as a large fire that was moving out of control, such as the Sonoma fires. Obviously, earthquakes, tsunamis, any kind of major event that's occurring where the entire county needs to know, and we want to make sure that we reach everyone. The SMC Alert allows us to be more precise in how we notify our community. We certainly don't want people in the South County to panic over something that's happening in North County, especially if the situation in this county in North County is handled and is being taken care of with the resources that we have up there.
But it's important then for somebody to be signed up for SMC, so if this incident is just unique to their own neighborhood, they would be able to get information.
No, that's absolutely correct. I mean, we send out the San Mateo County Office of Emergency Services. We train emergency managers and other firefighters and law enforcement officers within the county have all been trained on how to use SMC Alert. So some can do it from their phone apps. So when they're on a scene and they want to get the information out there, the notifications out there, they can certainly do so in a rapid way. And again, so folks need to sign up for SMC Alert. You can do it either through the website with San Mateo County OES. You can just punch in San Mateo SMC Alert in your computer, or you can text your zip code to 888-777 and it will sign you up for the for SMC Alert. The only caveat to that is that it's not a full sign up, so you still want to, at a later date, go in and really put in your address, your phone number, and all those things, so that when we want to send out an alert for a major disaster, we know we can get a hold of you on many different platforms.
And I think it's important that you clarify that texting 888-777 will get you into the system, but it's important that that system has more information about the individual.
Absolutely. We want as much robust information as possible so that we can reach you in an emergency with all the different platforms that we use.
So we know now what SMC alerts are. We know where they're sent and how people should sign up. Currently, how many people are actually signed up for SMC alerts?
So roughly, we are sitting at about 10% of our county, which is actually above national average. However, I think as a county, we can do a lot better. I think that, in working in this county for as long as I have, and knowing the people that work and live in this county, they're very progressive and very informed and involved in their communities. And so I think that if we all work together, we can get more people signed up, because it really is, communications is the number one thing in any kind of an emergency.
After the Hawaii incident, maybe you can explain to our viewers, if some are not aware of what happened in Hawaii, many may be concerned about the accuracy of some of these alerts. And so if you can just take a few minutes to talk about the Hawaii situation with regard to an alert, and maybe some of the challenges that occurred during that particular time, and for the people who lived there.
Sure. Well, I think everybody is well versed on exactly what happened and how it happened in terms of how the alert went out. But if you saw how the public reacted to such an alert, it shows the importance of communication. It shows the importance of if you were to make a mistake like that, and you need to send out a retraction or a cancel that type of a thing, you need to do that as fast as possible, because you saw the panic, you saw the worry. In addition to that, folks knowing what to do should an alert like that come over the airwaves, come over their phone, knowing how to get to shelter, knowing the ins and outs of getting into buildings, especially on that specific type of alert of a ballistic missile, getting into buildings and getting into the center of the buildings, to avoid the shock and avoid fallout of whatever it is that's coming. But all that information also is available at ready.gov, is another fabulous website to prepare yourself for any type of emergency. But the communications, the mass notifications that come out should come with a message. People need to know what is expected of them, where you want them to go. You certainly don't want to evacuate people into the disaster, into the area that's dangerous. So the message has to be carefully crafted when it's sent out.
And I think our viewers should also know that the challenges that those who are responsible for putting out a message have with regard to the timeliness of it. So do we put out a message that may not be accurate quickly, or wait? How long do we wait to put out a more accurate message that people actually do get good information and can act upon?
Well, like everything else, it comes with practice. And so the people that are in charge of these systems practice. You want to make sure that you have the correct messaging, and that people that are there are quick to think on their feet and know the type of disaster and where we need to send folks. And so you would take your time and craft that message. And we also, here in our county, have built-in safeguards to make sure that what happened in Hawaii won't happen here. And we won't go into detail about that, but it's safe to say that there's a couple different hoops you have to jump through to be able to send out an alert of that size.
Hopefully a confirmation that says, do you really want to put this message out?
Very much.
That we'll be subject to a nuclear attack?
That's correct.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Lieutenant. And
You're
thanks to everyone in your division. You've heard it already, but I'm going to say it again. Sign up for SMC Alert. Be among the first to know and be ready. Do it right now, please. For Take Notice, I'm Dan Lawson, and have a safe day.